that I'm in front of you, but are you implementing any offense or working on?
Yeah, I mean it's 24-second shot clock, and we're mostly transition. I think that's the one thing we're looking at it ahead of time, and that we have some pretty good athletes, we have some pretty good depth. I think we have some more people that can handle the ball. Last year we had to depend so much on Dimitri, so we will we'll try to push it. Myers had a great showing with USA Basketball, and one of the things he did was run the court. And Nana runs every time, so you got some bigs. Even Ibby has learned that if he runs, he's going to get a chance to get the ball. So I think the big thing is pushing the basketball, giving it up, getting it ahead, trying to get some layups in transition. And we'll give them 3 or 4 little actions that we can use. In August, we'll have to do a little more with press offense, some things in case you don't know what you're going to face over there. And then, the defense, you're just, kind of giving them basics. We're going, all the guys, it's new to them, terms we use, way we guard something, things like that. It's all a new experience for them. And so we're just starting from scratch. It's kind of like going to camp, basketball 101 for a lot of it.
For all these guys, that senior class last year was the guys for so long. Has it been a process to try and make these guys feel like they're the go-to guys?
Well, I think that's the big thing. I've challenged, Brandon, DJ, Myers. They have to, they have the most experience. They're the veterans. They have to step up and be the guys. And they watch Dimitri and Mike Davis and Mike Tisdale and Billy Cole kind of lead the group for a couple of years, 2-3 years, and now they have to do it. And then I think the other part of it is, I mentioned depth, and I think we have competition. It was pretty well, if those guys played the way they should, they were going to play last year. Now I think we have more competition, for all the spots, and and I think that's a positive thing, and it's made the practices very competitive.
In these practices right now, are guys winning, game minutes on the trip from you, or will you experiment with combinations when you get over there?
Yeah, when we get over there, I told them they're all going to play. This is their, we're going to rotate. We'll have, looks like for sure 4 games. We're hoping for a 5th. Out of that, so let's say you have 200 minutes to play. We're hoping that they all get probably 90 to 100 minutes. I mean, that's our goal on the trip. And obviously the 2 walk-ons, Kevin and Jean Celis, will get limited ticks. Theirs, they can have fun on a trip and stuff. But the other guys, I think what they're doing on that trip now, proving to us that when we get to October 15th, that they should be considered to be in the mix.
What happened to Dimitri and Jeremy on draft day? Does this make these guys more hungry to listen and be more?
Well, I hope so. I was disappointed. I think Dimitri should have been drafted. I think he's good enough to play. I think he's better than a lot of guys that got picked. But at the same time, what you just brought up, you got to have a complete game. You got to do everything. And if you want to make it, that's, they're looking for every reason for you not to make it, especially if you're a guard. So, this, it's something I brought up to them. Hey, you really have ambitions and dreams. Make your game complete so they don't have an excuse not to pick you. So, but it's good to have Dimitri's here. Mike Davis is here today. We've had, a lot of the guys all back throughout the summer. And, and then Jeremy's situation obviously was a little different. He left some questions unanswered, and now he's got to prove that.
What happened that day, does it lead these guys to be more coachable?
I hope so. I think this whole group is coachable. And I think the other guys, I think sometimes, they got, it was misconstrued that they weren't coachable. I think they had limitations, and, you can only do so much with strength and physicality, and they all could have done some little things, but at the same time, they were good kids and they wanted to do well, and we never had a problem. But I think maybe that extra discipline, that extra toughness, that extra work ethic, maybe that'll be the, they learn from others. I tell our guys all the time, learn from past experience, from others' experiences, their failures, so that you can have success.
Sam has been cleared to play.
Sam is, it's taken a little longer maybe than we thought, but he has practiced. I think a little bit of his mental. He hadn't gone for 9 months, and every time he lands on it wrong or whatever, he kind of pulls himself out. But I thought yesterday he finally, or Sunday, kind of showed us the things that we thought he was going to do. He's very crafty. He's got some toughness. He understands the game. So, I hope he ends up being a very good player for us.
I know it's beneficial for everybody, but is there any, this trip is probably the most beneficial for Sam.
Well, I think all of them. But Sam, he didn't play 9 months, and it's a new system. So, this is a chance for him to get back in game shape and then get some confidence and learn the system. But, when I look at it, the big questions, I mentioned DJ, Brandon, Myers. I think the big question will be point guard. Is Sam going to be the guy? And do we have, Tracy, Crandall, Brandon, who's going to back him up? And then probably power forward. I think Tyler's been a very pleasant surprise. Kind of got lost in the shuffle last year with Mike Davis playing so well, and Jeremy, he was successful at that spot. So, Tyler, he's played stronger, and if he makes shots for us, he's going to get some minutes.
Who should we expect to be backup point guard?
I hope, again, Tracy's what we're kind of hoping for, but we'll see if he can handle it. And then if not, we've given Crandall some minutes, and Brandon, it can handle the ball well enough at times. So Crandall's big thing, he has the athleticism, the quickness and all that. It's just taking care of the ball and making sure he knows which way we're going. So.
Nana's back. Is it okay?
Yeah, he was fine, and Nana runs every time he goes at every drill. It's the high intensity. His coach did a great job. The people in that program were, whether it was his AAU and that, it's kind of in a way it was an experiment. You had a guy that never played, and they taught him all good habits, and he's continued to have those habits. He's very hungry, and he talks more than we kind of thought. He was, on a visit, and when we recruited him, he didn't. It didn't show much pizzazz or personality, but he's gotten a little competitive, and he's got some humor to him too.
This weight on the AD has been long for all of us. Has it been for you too?
Well, I don't know. You just kind of wonder. You're left in the state of limbo, and you just in a way right now nothing's. You go through the summer. We were so busy between camp, recruiting, and just now with these practices. But you hope something's in place when the school comes around, because a lot of things you got to have good leadership from the top, and looking forward to the chancellor decision and to the athletic director's decision, and we'll go from there.
Do you feel like with an AD that you have to win, or you have to prove yourself all over again?
Depends who it is. Depends if I know him or not, or I've been around him. But this is we're excited about our season, and I think over the next 2 years we have the potential to be very good. And, you gotta win. That's part of basketball. I understand that. And so if you got a new person in, we gotta prove yourself every season. You gotta make a good impression on the new boss.
What's the challenge of 7 newcomers?
Well, one system, you gotta, I have a tendency to go too fast. We were able to, the last 2 years, everybody, you just got a few new guys, and it's easy, the teaching. Now you catch yourself, Ibby, I kept saying transition, and he didn't even know what that was. He knows what fast break, but he didn't understand the terminology, different, types of screening actions we do, or whatever it might be. So I think that's the biggest challenge, getting everybody on the same page and understanding it. And that's why I think the trip will be so valuable.
Are you intense right now? I mean, are you coaching hard?
I think you don't have to yell at anybody per se, but you're encouraging. You're teaching and encouraging effort. I think that's the biggest thing. We're expecting mistakes, and I still remember with my first year here with Dee and Darren and those guys, and James and Roger. We struggled in practice, and then we struggled when we first got over there. Almost lost to Sweden, won in overtime. I think Luther made a big shot, but then each game they started to blend together, starting to understand each other, how they play together. And I hope that we have an opportunity to go through that same learning process.
Thanks, Coach.